Hello lovely people of YouTube, and thanks as always for tuning into this video. So anyone who is familiar with my channel will know that I am a big fan of the Woovebox, which I've had for about a year now. Still use it all the time. It's a fantastic little portable groove box, basically, that it just fits in your pocket and you can do absolutely everything with it anywhere you want. So big news is it's had a new firmware update and it's added an absolute ton of awesome new features. So what I'm going to do in this video is just like a quick overview of some of my favorite bits of the new firmware. I will do a series of videos on all the new bits. There's still some things in there that I'm trying to get my head around because there is a lot to cover. So the Woovebox now comes in 3 different flavors. You've got the original version of the hardware, as it says here. There's the SE version. And then there's the Pro version that comes with a slightly bigger battery and extra accessories and cables and so on. But the firmware works on all 3 of them. There's a couple of differences, I think, with the original one with the MIDI in and out. But there's a comparison table on the Woovebox website that tells you all that. So, main highlights. Sampler has received a massive upgrade. Double the sampling time, which is a big thing. Woovebox expanded. I'm going to do a whole video on this. This is where you can control it from a MIDI controller, and there's some awesome stuff in there. A big one on the MIDI port is on most of these devices here, these versions, you've got to check the back of your box to see if this works. But the MIDI port can now be used as a physical MIDI in and a MIDI out, which is a big thing because MIDI in previously was only MIDI. Hold on, which way was it? Anyway, but you can do MIDI in and out now. MIDI in, it used to just be MIDI out. You can now do MIDI in over a cable connection, which is also awesome. DJ effects, these are some of my favorite bits. I'm going to show you some of these in a minute. And I think what I'll do with those as well, again, separate video on these because there's a lot to cover with those on buffers and so on. The whole thing does sound a lot better. Hi-fi upgrades we've got here. There's improvements on the synth engine. It's got 2 new filter types, new LFO hold mode and more. Again, I'll go through kind of separate videos and all this. Otherwise, this video is going to last for about 4 hours. Presets, that's my other favorite thing. I'm going to show you those as well in a minute because they are awesome now, the new preset navigation. A lot of kind of under the hood workflow things, sequencer, improved Wooveconnect, which I'll show you is also in a sec. And then I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see these are a big list here of all the new features in a little bit more detail. And I will go through each of these probably on separate videos. Let's just have a quick look at Wooveconnect because that's had a big upgrade. It now looks like this. So previously you would have this screen here, and then you would have the kind of the feedback thing here on a separate tab. It's now all on one tab. You've got more options here of choosing your ins and outs. So I've got various things that it's picking up there. I have found as well now that, because I did use the Widibud Pro thing from CME to get it to connect to like my phone and Windows. I found now on my phone, Wooveconnect just seems to work so much better now. I'm running I've got a Samsung S21 Ultra. And it just seems to connect straight up to that now without any extra connections, just over the Bluetooth. That seems to have improved a lot because that was a bit iffy before. Still struggling on iPad because I think just because of Apple doing MIDI over on their web browsers is not great. Connected it up fairly easily on Samsung tablet as well. I still find that I think with Windows you're better off having the Widibud Pro thing. But again, I will probably just do another video on all these separate bits as and when I get chance. So let's head over to let's change the screen over to there. Okay, so I've got a little thing I kind of got going the other day. This is nothing massive. I just kind of did a little jam on some of these things. So let's go through. This is what it sounds like. Okay, obviously, you know, it's not going to win any Emmys for songwriting. I did this in about 2 minutes earlier just to kind of demonstrate some of the new sounds. So let's first of all go to the presets. So this is my kick pattern. I'm just playing a standard 4 on the floor thing. If we go all the way to the left, so previously you only had the patches on here that were for that instrument type that you had selected. Now we've got access to all of them, which is just so much easier. So your first one is all your chords. Second one is all your bass presets. This is all the lead presets, arps. We've got kicks, we've got snares, we've got hi-hats, then we've got percussion, and then we've got whatever these are. We've got some effect ones and so on. So if I wanted to, so let's just go on the kick one. Again, there's a lot more presets included as well now. I'm using, I think, an 808 type kick. We've got short 808. We can have an initialized saw wave we can access from this page as well. And so on. So you've got all the, oh, hang on. With the kick we've got, various different kicks, we've got 909s, we've got 808s, and so on. So I can access, I could change that sound to a bass sound if I want. Let's just go on to my bass part at the moment, and we'll just, sorry, wrong way. Solo the bass. So I can kind of go through a few of the bass patches. Now I could, obviously, if I want, change this to a kick, okay, or a lead sound. So you can access them all from here now. There we go. And, you know, you can get some interesting, I think these are paraphonic. I mean, whether you can tell here, I don't know, but it does, the whole thing just sounds better. So on the bass presets, there's a very nice 3.0. I mean, that's awesome 303 distorted emulation. And then if you go all the way back, it will just undo it and take it back to the original sound. So, very cool. Let's go arps. We'll keep that playing. So, now the chord ones have got some nice ones in. It's very nice. Right, let's just go over onto the chord. Just give you an idea of some of these. A warm pad. Really nice, some of these pad sounds. So there's a load of new presets on here as well. Where was the... I'm sure there was... This trance one. That's a nice one. I mean, the piano one is pretty cool. Okay, so I'll spend hours going through all those presets. So, yeah, that's my first favoritist thing. The second one is DJ effects. So if we come back into song mode, we have our normal song mode. Okay, I'm on song 9 with our fragments. That hasn't changed. But if you hold down this and press again, we go into DJ effects. Now, there are various things on here which I'm going to cover in a later video, such as like mixing between different things. And there is like a buffer, a looper in here that you can do. And again, that just needs a separate video on its own. The two I'm just going to have a look at from on here are, we've got like a white noise kind of thing, a gator, and like a drone sound, which is fantastic for doing those kind of DJ sort of transitions. So the fragments that we have in here work exactly the same as the fragments that we have, okay, in the normal song. So if I go DJ fragment 1, and these tell you things that we've got on here. So this is telling me I've got a drone, I've got a noise, and I'm doing something with the filter. Okay, so if we take those off, let's get rid of the noise and the gator. We've got a filter was on there as well, and the drone. So without those, oh, hang on, I've messed up my kick, didn't I? So I did a weird patch on the kick. I think I used, was it the 909? That'll do for now. Okay. So DJ effects. Okay, I kind of messed all my sounds up, but it's the pads changed also. But let's give you an example of, so these two, this is like a noise thing. So that's the start level, and that's the end level. And that will go over the length of this fragment. So this is like on a per fragment basis. So let's say we take that up to 100, and you'll be able to hear that. So you can hear that now coming in. Okay, so we could then use this gator, and there are various different ways you can route this. So if I do it to the audio, it will do it to the either the drone or this, and these are all different kind of gator patterns. So let's go number 4. So hopefully you can hear now that is that gator pattern. In fact, what I could do is okay, I'm going to just take everything off on that fragment so we can just hear that. Okay, so we could add into that like a drone kind of sound as well. Again, same thing, we start with the volume. Let's bring that in at 10 and we'll go up. This does get pretty loud. And then you can decide start pitch and the end pitch. So if I start at like quite low at 20 and end up on, I don't know, 70. And that's affected by the gator the same. Okay, so I mean that in itself you could just use as a little bit of an intro thing. We could then also, let me just change that patch because I want a weird sound. Was it warm pad? Yeah, let's go back to that one. Okay, go back into DJ and bring those. I think let's bring that kick and the bass back in. And it's relaxed because they kind of cut off instantly when it goes into the next bit. We can also filter things. So this is the filter start. So let's say we'll go a high pass filter. We'll start with it on 1 and we'll filter it up so it kind of almost completely gone. So it will now sound like this. Okay, now you can hear that's filtering just the audio. You can change that. I believe it's on this one. I can't remember where you do that, but you can do it so it filters either like the audio engine or the kind of DJ effects as well. Again, I'm going to do another video purely on the DJ effects because there's so much to cover in there. So that's kind of a quick overview of all the new stuff. I mean, very quick. I've hardly barely scratched the surface with it. I've a read through all the stuff on the website. Evo's done a fantastic job on this update. It's all free. I have been one of the beta testers of this, so I've been aware of this for quite a few months now and got very excited whenever we had a new email through with a new version. It was like, yes, what's he added now? And the work he's put into this is just phenomenal. So please do go and support it. If you've not got a Woovebox, you know, I highly recommend getting one if you just want something really portable. The MIDI implementation right now is really cool. I've hooked this up to like an MPC and kind of controlled all the sounds off here. This is a MIDI controller. all the MIDI stuff. Again, separate videos coming on all of that. And I'm going to kind of do a series of videos as well, hooking this bad boy up to various different bits of equipment and kind of sequencing it with that and so on. So yeah, there we go. Woovebox firmware 2.0. Go grab your update and most importantly, have fun with it. Thanks for watching. Usual things, like, subscribe, support me on Patreon if you wish. I will probably upload some Woovebox stuff to Patreon at some stage in the future, some of my songs and things, so you can see how I've put those together. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll see you soon.